and cover are the two basic needs for any organism on Earth. It stands to reason, then, that the more different types of cover a creature can adapt to, the better its odds of surviving. Of freshwater game fish, few are more adaptable than the crappie. And as you will soon see, the successful fisherman must be equally adaptable.
So one of them deep ones. Nice one again. She hit that thing pretty darn good out of these deep brush piles. You know, that program that you guys got here in Norfolk really works, dumping these brush piles. You know, it makes such a difference. And then what they've done, folks, they build brush piles, what you say, 180 of them or something like that, Bill?
Yeah, Al, back in the 40s when they started clearing this lake, building the dam, it was what they call a WPA project. So they had hundreds of people up here working. You know, things were tough. And essentially in Norfolk, 90% of all the timber was cut, decked, and burned. So consequently, these brush cover projects are very critical because we just don't have any natural cover in the water.
It's a crappie, I know. I can feel it. Feels like a big crappie. Nice one. Nice one. You just weren't kidding when you said these things were big. Whew. Is he a keeper? Is he a keeper? Now let's see. When I was talking to you earlier, I said what? It's been a few years since I caught a 2-pounder. Well, that ain't a 2-pounder, but it still's an awful good one. I like when I got a lip crappie, when you lip them like a bass. Look at that fish, huh? America's most. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's an awful good one. Awful good one. I'd say it's a little better than a 1.25 pounds. You know, but this is definitely America's most sought after sport fish, crappie. And you know, the interesting thing, most crappie fishermen get out for about 30 days early in the season on that pre-spawn spawn. And I guess it'd be safe to say that the biggest harvest of crappies is early in the season. And these fish really zero in big time on cover. There's lots of different kinds of cover that those crappies can hold on. Wood, whether it's stumps, brush piles, bushes, are real magnets for them. And in some areas, you get them on boulder rocks with scattered gravel between them. Up north, we get them in a lot of cases. We get them in bulrushes where they'll bed into bulrushes, and even massive lily pad flats. But one thing's for certain, it's a good time of the year to nail some of the biggest crappie in the lake. Can't tell. I don't feel like the 2-2, but I can't tell you. Just a plain old croc. Look at how fat this one is. Holy smoke. Look at the belly on that one. Look at that. Whew. Look at that thing. You know, a fish is a fish is a fish, no matter where they live. And the correlation, the movement from wintertime holes for crappies and reservoirs like on Norfolk here and most natural lakes is pretty much the same, really. Reservoirs like Norfolk see a general warming trend that starts from the upper end and moves toward the dam. In spring, crappies generally start moving from the deeper wintering areas once surface temperatures reach the low to mid-50s to shallow coves with cover. For example, the crappies in the upper end of the lake move shallow March 15th. April 1st, the fish move shallow in the center section of the lake. Hey, 2 weeks later, April 15th, the crappies in the lower section of the lake move in.
Al, it's like, you know, some of these places we're running, we're mid-lake on Norfolk, we're running, you know, 56 to 57, 58. Up in the bow where we caught those fish yesterday, it was 59. And, you know, we're in the 1st of April here. So by the 15th, I'm still going to have pre-spawn fish coming up in the dam area, 15, 18 miles of water below us. So we'll be doing down there what we're doing here now, so that gives us a good solid month to 5 weeks before you get all your pre-spawn fish in and set up.
That same principle holds true in natural lakes. Certain areas that the crappies use much earlier than others, but you got a solid, depending on where you live in the country, a solid good month of crappie fishing by following the different parts of the lakes and the different areas that the fish use. Natural lakes also see a general warming trend that dictates when and where crappies make their pre-spawn spawn movements. Generally, shallow black bottom bays and channels see the first crappies moving in. They're the first areas to warm up. Deeper main lake reed beds will see the next fish, while the last fish to spawn on shallow main lake rock piles. On some lakes, the time frame from the first and last fish spawning may cover a 4-week period or more.
Woo! Feeling like a good one now.
Right up out of that little brush pile? The littler one?
Evidently off that little one. Yeah.
Nice one, there it is. Comes up like a bass, I like that. I like that. Crappies that think they're bass.
Female, white.
Well, feels good.
A 2-2.
No, it ain't a 2-2, but it's a nice one. Oh, I like when they come up like that. Yeah, he thinks he's a bass. I love when you gotta lip crappies. I love it when you lip them like a big old bass. As far as catching crappies consistently, now I'm going to say something I know a whole lot of you ain't going to agree with. I know Bill would agree with me because we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I really believe that the vast majority of the time I can catch all the crappies you need without live bait on a plain jig. That's right, you don't need live bait the majority of the time. Different jigs used in different situations will constantly put more crappies in a boat for you than bait will.
In the 16th ounce jigs, I'm fishing a 32nd here right now. You can effectively fish that down to 12 or 14 feet if you have to. And those little light, subtle jigs that float down, that's what the big crappie will really tag. And then get you a good 5.5 foot ultralight rod, light jig, 2 and 4 pound line, but no real high vis line in this clear water. You might use it in dingy water. And you've got what you need.
No question about it. The key to catching crappies on jigs without bait is to fish the smallest jigs possible. It's got to fall real, real, real slow. We're talking what, 1/64th, 1/32nd, 1/16th. Bill said he doesn't ever go heavier than a 16th. Once in a while, I'll go to an 1/8. But that's it. The idea is let the bait fall very, very slow.
Now this pile here is in 28 foot of water. The top of that top comes within 8 to 9 foot of the surface. We've graphed it. We can see that there's some fish over the top of it. They're about 7, 8 foot. We got a marker out here, and it's a matter of, I'm counting this jig down to 6, and I'm starting my slow retrieve right there. You want to fish just over those crappie, whereas if you're seeing fish marking around 8 or 9 foot, a count of 6 with a 16th ounce jig, 4 pound line will put you down about 6 foot. Then just start your swing. It's a slow retrieve, and you're just arcing down, coming right past them. And that's the trick to it.
You said, get that school going a little bit. It's not quite a lipper. Not quite a lipper. I said it wasn't quite a lipper, but it's a nice one. It's a nice one. It's amazing to me the size of the crappies that you got here in Norfolk. I mean, there's some big, big fish. Bill was telling me he gets a half a dozen 3-pounders a year. You said some guy took a 4-pounder out of here last year? 4.4 verified. Now that ain't no 4.4, but I'll take them anyway.